Hello fellow gaming minions, welcome back to episode 9 of my Gamer Mini Interview series. It's been quite some time since I've done the last one, and it's been a while since I've been hunting for YouTubers to actually get involved in on this segment. So if you're new around here, and this is your first time watching this kind of video, please consider hitting that subscribe button for more of these videos and you won't be disappointed. One day you might be on here too, because I do all this free of charge. That's right, there are YouTubers out there that exist that actually help out other YouTubers out of the goodness of our heart. It's that simple. So, sit back, relax, and watch episode 9 of SEGAblocks of Gamer Mini Interview, episode 9. Here we go. Okay, so the first question I ask you is, what or who made you want to become a YouTuber?
What really got me into the YouTube scene was probably around 2012, 2013 at the latest. At that time I was watching like the early days of like Sit Cooper and the Game Chasers, and one of my favorite channels that doesn't do the video game side of it anymore was Classic Game Room with Mark and Classic Game Room Undertow and channels like that. And then I moved on to smaller channels, and I noticed that people were collecting and doing flea market videos and yard sales, and some of my English followers and subscribers, you guys have like boot sales and stuff like that, and I thought that was really cool that they were documenting that. So I kind of got in on the scene too, and the rest is pretty much history.
Second question. What are some of your favorite video games?
Some of my favorite video games, let's take it back. Like I'm a huge Sega fan, obviously, so like Nights into Dreams on the Saturn, Albert Odyssey, Astal, Sonic the Hedgehog, there's so many, Golden Axe, like I could jump around to all kinds of systems. Super Nintendo, was the first time I got to play Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and that's one of my all-time favorite games. The original NES, Ghosts and Goblins and Mystery Quest. We'll jump to PlayStation 1. My favorite games of all time are the Tomba games, Tomba 1 and Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Return. There's just so many. Like, I'm a gamer, and I just absolutely love games.
How did you come to know gaming?
I became a gamer, believe it or not, when I was 3 years old. I know a lot of people are going to be like, you were only 3, how did you know anything about gaming? Well, at the time, my mom had an Atari 2600, the big wood grain heavy sixer, and I remember she had it, and every now and then she would pull it out. She wasn't huge into gaming, but she did enjoy console gaming a little bit. And I remember that every now and then she would pull it out, and I'd be sitting there not knowing what it was. I was just a little kid, but I have these memories still in my head, and I can remember it plain as day. And the first game I ever remember playing on this thing was Spider-Man for the 2600, when you had to climb up the building and stuff, and the things would knock you back down, and you just start falling, and you had to shoot your web, which was basically a line and a string going back up, but it was really awesome. And yeah, so that's basically where my gaming started.
What is one video game you do not like?
A video game that I don't like? Anybody that's friends with me or has watched my channel at this point knows that I absolutely despise The Adventures of Dino Ricky on the NES. It's not a bad game by any means, but it is my bane. It is the bane of my existence in the video game realm. It's basically like a cute-em-up type deal. You play as Ricky, and you're shooting like your little creatures and stuff, like a shooter from those days, from the 8-bit era. But oh my god, it is the bane of my existence.
What are your YouTube goals?
I don't really have goals like some people do. Like, I don't expect, I don't sit there and I don't watch my sub count every day of the week and hope that it grows like immaculately. I'm not saying that I don't care, because I obviously love all the followers, all the likes I get, the comments, all my subscribers and all that. But I'm not going to worry about it. I am here for the community. I am here to build a community. I am happy for the friends that I've made along the way and all the videos from all you that I watch day to day. But basically, my goals are, I'm not looking to become YouTube famous. I'm not, your top like streamer. I'm not your top YouTuber, your vlogger, nothing like that. And I don't ever expect to be. I will never be monetized. I know that YouTube has their, own set of rules, whatever, that they're going to take their own commission or whatnot from it. But me personally, I do not want to make money off of this, so make this my oath right now, and so anybody can write this down if they don't believe me. But if I would get 1 million subs within a couple years, or like even tomorrow, if I just have an influx of subscribers and I had all the view and watch hours that I needed and the analytics were there, I'm still not going to monetize because I don't want to be paid for this. I'm doing it for the community, and I'm doing it because I want to show the world that I am a true gamer, and I am here for the community, and I am here to talk about games and other nerd things with all of you.
Do you feel part of the YouTube community?
The community that I feel that I'm a part of is more of the smaller YouTube community because that's what I like. I'm talking like channels under 5,000 subs usually. No, I'm not knocking any, the bigger YouTube channels. There are a lot of huge YouTubers that I came to love, like, John Riggs, wonderful guy. You have Metal Jesus Rocks, John Hancock, people like that I look up to and are really, really, really good channels. And I've interacted with them, and they are very kind people, would respond to comments when they see them and everything. And I've talked to them on social media here and there, which is really awesome. But like my community, I feel is the smaller community. Not necessarily, when I say smaller community, it doesn't necessarily mean subs all the time. It's like just like the people that are more focused on the gaming aspect rather than like. I talk to the people that aren't going to run out and spend like all their money on this big expensive equipment just to make a 2-minute video. Like the videos that I like to see from people are the ones that are putting their heart and soul into it, and you can tell that they worked hard on it, even though their camera might not be the best or their quality might not be the best. Like if somebody's going to talk about a game, I want them to know about the game and not just about like how clear it was, or if they made that same video that somebody else did. Let's say that somebody made a tier list. I don't want to see somebody like piggybacking off of somebody else and making that same list but in their own words. Like I like to see the originality, and that's why I like the smaller community, because I feel like more originality and more thought process and stuff like that come from that. Not all the time, there are still people that stay wholesome, and that's wonderful, when you make it and you get more subs, and that's the ultimate goal, I know, for some people, and that's great. But for me, like, I definitely feel like the smaller YouTube community of gamers is where I belong.
What advice would you give to new gaming channels?
Some advice that I would give to somebody or groups of people that are just starting out on YouTube is don't let it become a chore. Don't act like you have to constantly look at your analytics. Don't feel like it's got to be a chore or a job for you day to day. If you're not having fun doing it and you're not enjoying doing it, you shouldn't be doing it, in my opinion. Because once it feels like a chore, then you don't want to do it, and you're not going to do it. But yeah, so if I had to give advice to any new YouTuber, it would be like, have fun with it and enjoy the content you're making.
What is the story behind your YouTube name?
My YouTube name was actually an idea from my daughter. I was trying to figure, because I'm a big Lego guy and I'm also a gamer, and I was trying to figure out a way to kind of like combine the two, and I was coming up with all kinds of names that just weren't fitting, and my daughter came to me, and I obviously I'm a huge fan of Sega and like Legos, so my daughter came up with this idea. She said, well, there's SEGAblocks, and you can't steal that copyrighted name, obviously, and so it was just kind of like a jump off of that, like, the fact that I like blocks and Legos and Sega, so we put it together, and it just kind of clicked. It kind of worked. And the funny thing is some of my English friends and subscribers now call me SEGAblocks. So that kind of like was like throwing that dart right in the bullseye on the dartboard, so it kind of stuck with me. But yeah, so that's the origin of the name.
Would you ever create a video game?
Would I ever create a game? I can't say that I would ever be into like the development of a video game per se or anything like that. I do, however, like to in my own head, and I have before, and there was a point in time when I was actually thinking about creating a tabletop game rather than a video game. But for me, like video game wise, I would be interested in coming up with a storyline and characters and something like that, but the actual designs and the development and stuff like that, I have no desire for. I am a game player, not a creator.
Are you looking forward to the future of gaming?
To be honest, I am not looking forward to the future of gaming. I am not knocking anybody that does, and, you know, like, obviously, like, I don't want any flack back, but, you know, you'll have that. But, new gen, I'm not really all that impressed. Yes, it's, you know, it's great visuals and all that stuff, but right now, like, the whole entire, like, release of the Xbox Series X and the PS5 has just been outrageous. You know, with the chip shortage and not enough retail to meet demands, and it's just been a fiasco and ridiculous. And I don't feel like it was the right time, to release it, and I don't feel like there was enough time in between, like, current gen to new gen, because it's not that big of a jump and a difference, considering that we went from the Xbox One X and all that to the Series X. It's a little bit of a graphical jump and more memory and all that stuff, I understand, but it's not that big of a jump to me. And the whole, like, going digital, I know that these consoles, you can still get, you know, like the Series S or the X with or without the hard drive and the disc, or not the hard drive, the disc drive, I'm sorry. And I understand that, but, like, obviously everyone knows that gaming is going to be going to digital with, you know, the Steam Deck coming out. That's going to be a straight digital console, handheld, obviously, for Steam. And I am the point in my life where I hit that old man status, basically, like where I'm saying, darn you kids, and I don't like change too much. I'm from the, you know, the physical media days. You know, I started with cartridges and went to, you know, like disc-based games and all that. So it's, you know, that's where I'm at. Going forward, I probably won't go any farther forward in the gaming scene. I feel like where I'm at now, if I would start, you know, like Atari, let's go back to the Atari and the Commodore 64 and the ColecoVision and the ZX Spectrum and all that. You know, there are games for days and days and days that I haven't even, you know, like seen, let alone collected for or bought yet. So there's, you know, me being a collector and a gamer, there's plenty of stuff out there for me to collect until the day that I die. So there's actually no need for me to even have to be worried that I'm going to jump into the new generation of consoles. So I was actually considering not going and getting a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, believe it or not. I have other motives, but yeah. So I want to thank you again for interviewing me and having me on your channel.
And that is episode 9 of my Gaming Mini interview series. Thank you very much for joining and watching SEGAblocks. Thank you very kindly for being part of this SEGAblocks. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully I can do more of these collaborations in the future with you. That would be great. And for those of you that are watching, please go and subscribe and have a look at SEGAblocks' channel. I'm pretty sure you will like it. So I'm Dr. Virtual. Thank you very kindly for watching. Here is my socials. There you go. And may retro gaming live on. Oh, may they live on indeed. And you take care of yourselves.